But what if that tour company believes that its motto is to disrupt the travel industry? Charles Shima is the founder of Zaniheza, a startup company entering Rwanda's robust tourism industry. He talks to me about his ambitious goal to revolutionize tourism in his country.
My journey has been very long. I left Rwanda when I was 16 years old during the genocide against the Tutsi, and I found myself in Vancouver, Canada. And I spent about 24 years in Canada before I returned to Rwanda in 2018. In 2019, I had what I should call a calling to start this new company called Zaniheza. That was June of 2019, and we started. And about February of 2020, when we were about to launch, boom, here happens the big lockdown.
The global
and
pandemic.
I'm sitting in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Yes, the global pandemic.
So
I'm just sitting in Vancouver. And
your company is still very much in its infancy, and as before you fully launched, started business, the global pandemic, and obviously all the lockdowns that the pandemic has affected everybody around the world, regardless of where you live, and all businesses, especially for many African countries that depend on tourism. We saw that the number of visitors has reduced, travel has reduced, and therefore that sector of the economy is suffering. How has the global pandemic and its subsequent lockdowns, reduction in travel, obviously reduction in tourism, how has that affected your young company?
Yes, absolutely. We can certainly feel all that comes with the pandemic in terms of the travel. So the reductions of the travelers certainly is felt. That being said, as the founder, Zaniheza was built as a forward-thinking company. When I started as Zaniheza, I really positioned myself to bring about a change in the travel industry. I call myself a disruptor. Interesting enough, I would say that Zaniheza was built to outlast, through my vision, the pandemic. You can ask me why. I knew from the beginning that technology was going to play a big piece. As much as we are traditionally called a tour operator, in my vision, I just didn't see the status quo as in welcoming people and then showing them around. That's why our focus is mainly on giving an experience. And through our slogan, we say, see Rwanda through our eyes. Actually, initially, my thought was see Africa through our eyes. So yes, there is certainly an impact that is being felt since we cannot welcome the clients and the travelers and show them around. At the same time, though, the lockdown has perhaps given us that time to build our company in a way that we are going to be way ahead for many, many, many years to come. And that's essentially within the vision I have had. Since how people travel to Rwanda and to Africa, in my mind, that should change in many ways. Because a lot of people tend to come here for the safari or for the gorillas. I had a different thought as how we should be doing that.
Okay, then that's the disruption part of it.
That is correct. That is the disruption.
Let's get into that a little bit later. Let's first get just to explain to our listeners the meaning of the word Zaniheza.
Yes.
That's a Kinyarwanda term. Why don't you explain what Zaniheza mean and what inspired you to go into the tourism industry?
Yes, absolutely. First, to answer your question as to what Zaniheza means, it is a Kinyarwanda name, and it means Murakaza Neza, welcome. It's beautiful, Niheza. Um, when I was thinking about the name, we traditionally tend to choose a Western name, especially for Zaniheza that was founded in Vancouver. And in my vision is to really build a global company um, based in Africa. I don't feel that we have that yet. So if they can be an Alibaba, if they can be a Google, why not as Zaniheza as a future global company, which I truly believe in. So for that, I wanted to maintain an authenticity. So I said it's going to be a name in one of the language we speak in Africa. Being of Rwandan descent, well, the Kinyarwanda language, that's the way I went. However, our name can be quite long and hard to pronounce. So initially I was thinking Niheza, which means beautiful. However, Niheza, when we went to register the company in Rwanda, it was not available. So I was trying to think and I was trying to brainstorm. I actually have some notes. So I came up with many sort of names, but then this sentence, Murakaza Neza, Niheza, really stood with me. So hence, so with that za, it's really that Murakaza Neza, Zaza, and Niheza. So that's the story about our name. One thing that truly inspired me was organically, as an African, as someone of Rwandan descent, I wanted to start with something that we have. And what we have here is the beauty.
We're inspired by that need to showcase beauty of your country to the rest of the world.
Yes, absolutely. The beauty of the country, the beauty of us. Especially that I believe who we are as people is mostly negatively seen. If you think of, oh, I'm from Africa, they're like, oh, wait a second. They tend to go in places that I think that's not the true reflection of who we are.
That old perception about Africa as a war-ridden continent with conflict and disease and all that type of stuff. You wanted to change that?
That is correct. Yes, I wanted and I want to change that. So the beauty of our country, the beauty of essentially Zaniheza is our very foundation is the culture.
You're listening to Upfront on the Voice of America. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. If you're just joining us, welcome. And make sure to check out our podcast at voanews.com to catch up on our previous shows. And we continue our conversation with Charles Shima, the founder of Zaniheza, a tour and travel startup based in Rwanda. Now, tourism is one of the primary industries that is driving growth and job creation in the country. What is it that you would want somebody just visiting Rwanda for the first time to know about your culture, and what is the best way of that visitor achieving an understanding and an appreciation of your culture?
There are many things. The one that comes to mind is not to just be a guest when you come here. You need to come and really be fully immersed. As we said in the slogan, is see Rwanda through our eyes. Leave all the perception behind. Don't come and think that savior mentality. And once you leave that behind, it's when you will truly know us. We'd like you to feel, see, dance Rwandan through our eyes. So get to know us as people. So it's in that spirit that we thought also outside the box. If you cannot come to us, we can also come to you. How? We have now a Zani store, which is an essentially e-commerce. And I have sought partnership with many Rwandan who are into the fashion, the designers that I work with, because made in Rwanda, it's such a beautiful policy that the country started in 2015 to promote that self-resilience.
I like that you equate yourself or your motto of the travel industry, and that's quite ambitious. But I want to know how the pandemic has affected you and your company since March, when the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 as a global pandemic, less travel, How does that affect you as a young, growing company? Do you see it as an opportunity? Do you see it as a setback? What do you do going forward?
Yes, realistically, as a new company ready to launch, um, if you look at the business model, you certainly want to have clients so that you can make revenue, so that you can be sustainable in the long run. So we have felt an impact of having that possibility to welcome our first client and delayed. We are surviving it. However, with no revenue, there is those challenges. Now, if we can step outside of why a business exists, I see this as an opportunity. Why? Because as much as we would like to welcome clients, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of building the company and so on. So for us, during the lockdown, we never really slowed down. My team and I, we continue to work from home almost, I would say, 10 to 15 hours. So the impact in terms of why a business exists, it's felt. And we would like to welcome the clients, to show the world, to show to the travelers what we have done, so that they can come and, for example, travel Rwanda by trying out all the experiences we have, which they are all amazing. However, as an opportunity though, we have built the company, we have done innovations. For example, we have a blog called Urugwiro, where we raise awareness about Rwanda. We also have a YouTube channel.
That was Charles Shima, the founder and CEO of Zaniheza, a startup tour and travel company.